I was wrong. Are you happy? I was wrong. Last year, yes, an entire year ago, I made a video talking about my thoughts on Guts and the popular manga Berserk. The simple recap is I thought the character Guts was a tough protagonist to get behind. Saying that Guts took enjoyment in the pain and suffering he was causing to others kind of felt like an understatement. Maybe not an understatement, but I'm being dramatic on purpose. While the story itself was interesting and it did a great job of setting up questions, I wasn't sure if I could stick with Guts. There are main characters in stories that do bad things, but you usually get a sense that there's good somewhere in them, that they're cold and rough around the edges, but inside there's something warm. Guts was not giving me that impression in the entirety of Volume 1 of the Deluxe Edition. I genuinely couldn't tell if he was supposed to be so evil until the very end. And to your credit, many of you told me to stick with it. You said that there is a reason Guts is the way he is, and I just had to keep reading. While I can't officially say Guts is a good person at this point, I will say this. The term fuck around and find out has never hit me so hard in the face as it has with Berserk. I've finally made it to the end of the Deluxe Edition 5, which I think is around the 15th volume in the manga. So I've seen the terrible things that have happened to Guts as a child. I've seen the struggle he has with people and not being able to trust them. And then I've seen him gradually get out of that and start to make a community and bond with all these different people. And then I read The Eclipse. My entire soul was crushed. I know now that I have to keep reading this manga, knowing that the story I spent most of my time with will never be the same. Characters I grew familiar with or really enjoyed are gone. The way I thought the world worked is gone. And Casca, poor Casca. Right now, to me, the character of Casca is more tragic than even the character of Guts. The things that they did to her, and so many panels, it was brutal. I don't even know what to say about it. It was brutal. But The Eclipse might be the scene that legitimately leaves a mark on me. I knew the character of Griffith was going to betray Guts somehow because they already set that precedence early on in the story. But I assumed that he too would end up being somewhat of a tragic character. I could have never guessed what Griffith was actually going to do, but what he did was irreparable in my eyes. Even as I think about it now, maybe he was under some kind of control by the God Hand, or coerced into doing something that he didn't really understand, but then I realized the manga makes it very clear that this was Griffith's choice. Berserk may be the darkest thing I've read or looked at. I can completely see how this manga was inspiration for so many beloved stories and games like Elden Ring and Dark Souls and maybe even Final Fantasy VII, and I'm sure a lot more. Berserk's footprint can be found in so many places. So to recap, I just finished Deluxe Volume 5. I now understand why Guts is the way he is, and I've made a complete 180. I'm actually rooting for the psychopath that is the Black Swordsman. So if you're considering picking up Berserk and you know nothing about it, just be prepared. Dark and graphic don't really begin to describe what you're going to see in the story. I'll be continuing the manga, but it's gonna take some time. I mean, it's taken me a whole year just to get this far. But, I mean, I need some breaks. I need some breaks in between each book to crawl out of the darkness that it left me in, abandoned, alone, and afraid. Anyway, fuck Griffith. That guy's even worse than Moas from Stormlight. And that's about it. Later.